The Big Bang Theory was more than just a show. It was a cultural phenomenon, and one of the reasons it stood out was because of Kaley Cuoco. Who would have thought that a simple sitcom about a group of socially awkward scientists would turn into a global hit? But perhaps even more surprising is how Kaley's life has evolved since the show's grand finale in 2019. In just 5 years, she's gone from being Penny, America's beloved girl next door, to a powerhouse in the entertainment industry. But what really happened behind the scenes? What has Kaley been up to, and how has she transformed both professionally and personally? Let's dive into the life of Kaley Cuoco, from her humble beginnings to becoming one of Hollywood's most versatile stars. Kaylee Christine Cuoco wasn't born into Hollywood royalty, yet from the start she carried the restless sparkle of someone itching for a spotlight. Growing up beneath the sunny sprawl of Camarillo, California, she juggled three unlikely identities at once: a racket-swinging tennis prodigy, a pint-sized Barbie commercial darling, and a wide-eyed 7-year-old memorizing lines for low-budget thrillers. Her dad, Gary, sold houses. Her mom, Lane, kept the household humming. Show business, if it happened, would have to be wrestled into existence, one audition at a time. By 6, she was landing serves that rattled older kids, but the camera kept calling. First came that Barbie spot, then a blink-and-you'll-miss-it moment opposite Denzel Washington in Virtuosity. Casting directors noticed the easy grin, the way she hit every mark like it was second nature. While school friends obsessed over middle school gossip, Kaley spent evenings on cram sets, trading homework for dialogue sheets and collecting guest star credits on Ellen and TV movies nobody her age had even heard of. Her calendar turned brutal: mornings at the tennis club, afternoons under studio lights, nights in the back seat finishing algebra before dawn call times. Something had to give. At 16, she made a gut-punch choice: shelve the rackets, double down on acting, and pray the sacrifice would pay off. It did almost instantly. Yet her true breakthrough was still lurking behind one more audition, a single chance that would hammer her name onto every casting list in town. And when that moment arrived, it rewrote her life forever. Kaley's moment of truth arrived in a nondescript audition room for ABC's new family sitcom, 8 Simple Rules for Dating My Teenage Daughter. She walked in confident, then bombed so hard the producers phoned her agent to say, politely, she's not ready. Most actors would crawl away. Kaley asked for a do-over. 48 feverish hours of line drills later, she stormed back, cracked every punchline, and stole the role of Bridget Hennessy, the quick-witted, eye-rolling eldest daughter who could reduce a date to stammers with one raised eyebrow. The series premiered in 2002, and Kaley's comedic timing detonated on screen. Viewers loved Bridget's mix of teen sass and hidden vulnerability, and Kaley took home the 2003 Teen Choice Award for Breakout Star. Yet the set was anything but carefree. In 2003, the sudden death of lead actor John Ritter sent the show into emotional freefall. Cast and crew grieved in real time while cameras rolled. Kaley, barely 18, found herself delivering jokes through genuine tears. The tragedy could have sunk the series and her career, but instead it hardened her resolve. When scripts were rewritten, she rose to the challenge, proving she wasn't just a charming face. She was a professional who could anchor a show under crisis. By the final season, casting directors were circling. They saw an actress who could land zingers, improvise under pressure, and still tug at heartstrings. Kaley had carved a place in Hollywood's crowded sitcom landscape, but she was about to aim even higher. One More Pilot, a nerd-centric comedy with a strange title and an untested ensemble, was quietly gearing up at CBS. And Kaley Cuoco was about to change television history all over again. When CBS rebooted its scrapped geek-com pilot, Chuck Lorre needed electricity, someone who could offset quantum jargon with raw relatability. Enter Kaley, fresh off 8 Simple Rules and determined to prove the first audition blunder wouldn't define her. She read for the newly minted Penny, a wide-eyed Nebraska waitress whose street smarts would collide with theoretical physics. This time the room crackled. Within days she was cast, and by the first table read, even stoic Jim Parsons admitted, the rhythm changed the second she spoke. The chemistry was instant, on screen and off. Kaylee's playful ad-libs thawed Parsons' deadpan, while her banter with Johnny Galecki blurred so seamlessly into reality that tabloids chased dating rumors for years. Yet behind the laughs was relentless work. Scripts loaded with rapid-fire references meant marathon rehearsals, and Kaylee memorized tongue-twisting dialogue with color-coded notebooks and late-night study calls to the show's resident physicist consultant. By season 3, The Big Bang Theory exploded into the Nielsen stratosphere, topping 20 million weekly viewers and sending Kaylee's salary from a modest $60,000 per episode to a jaw-dropping $1 million club, matching Parsons and Galecki after unified contract standoff that rewrote sitcom payday history. Still, success bred scrutiny. Critics complained Penny was just the blonde neighbor, so Kaylee pushed for depth, failed auditions, moonlighting bartender shifts, and gradual self-belief that mirrored her own climb. Fans rewarded the nuance, and Penny evolved from sidekick to backbone of the series' emotional core. But when the final curtain fell in 2019, Kaylee faced a crossroads: retreat into sitcom legend, or gamble on an entirely new frontier that could shatter her carefully built image. The sitcom juggernaut wrapped on a Thursday. By Monday morning, Kaylee was in a bare-bones office, signing LLC papers. She called the shingle "Yes, Norman," a wink to her one-eyed rescue pup, and vowed to greenlight stories no studio would hand her. First up, the flight attendant. On paper, it was career suicide, an alcoholic, murder-adjacent stewardess whose hallucinations bleed into Hitchcock-style mind palaces. Kaylee optioned the novel, pitched HBO Max, then starred, produced, and micromanaged everything from wardrobe stains to episode cliffhangers. The gamble landed 6 Emmy noms, a Golden Globe nod, and proved she could headline prestige drama just as comfortably as multicam comedy. Success triggered a creative feeding frenzy. DC's animation wing rang next, asking if her bubbly rasp could morph into foul-mouthed chaos for Harley Quinn. She said yes without a table read, then unleashed a machine gun cackle that critics deemed deliriously unhinged. More voice gigs followed, but Kaylee wasn't done flipping genres. In 2023, she co-created and starred in Peacock's dark comic thriller based on a true story, wielding a kitchen knife 1 minute and improv punch lines the next. Each pivot felt like a dare. Can Penny do that? Watch her. Behind the marathon workdays, life kept rewriting her script. She met actor Tom Pelphrey, swapped pandemic texts, and within a year was decorating a nursery. When daughter Matilda arrived in spring 2023, Kaylee posted a sun-drenched Polaroid and wrote, "The new light of our lives." The world saw a megastar nursing in sweats between Zoom pitch meetings, a reminder that her greatest role yet might be off-camera. But if her projects have soared, her relationships have flown a far rougher flight path. Divorces, headline romances, and a bold vow never to marry again set tabloids ablaze, and the turbulence is only half the story. Kaylee's personal life has been as public as her professional one, with each relationship turning into a major headline. She's gone through whirlwind romances, high-profile engagements, and even heartbreaks that made the front page. Her first major relationship was with Canadian actor Kevin Zegers, which lasted just under a year in 2003. Then came the brief fling with Thad Luckenbill, another familiar face from 8 Simple Rules. But it was Kaylee's on-and-off romance with co-star Johnny Galecki that truly captivated the public's attention. Though the two tried to keep it under wraps, their chemistry was undeniable, both on and off screen. But just as the cameras rolled for the pair's on-screen romance in The Big Bang Theory, their real-life relationship came to an end. Though their breakup could have created tension on set, Kaylee and Johnny managed to maintain a close friendship. They both said that the breakup didn't affect their work, and in fact, their chemistry only deepened for the cameras. But the fairy tale aspect of their romance eventually crumbled. After a few more relationships that didn't make it down the aisle, Kaylee finally called off her engagement to addictions specialist Josh Resnick. Then came the whirlwind romance with tennis pro Ryan Sweeting, whom she married in 2013, only for the marriage to implode after just 2 years. Kaylee called it quits in 2015, citing irreconcilable differences. The next chapter saw her dating British actor Paul Blackthorne, but this too was short-lived. But just when it seemed like Kaylee might give up on love entirely, she found Carl Cook, a fellow equestrian. Their relationship was an anchor, steady and quiet. They married in 2018, but by 2021, the couple made the difficult decision to separate. Yet through it all, Kaylee emerged stronger. In an April 2022 interview, she boldly declared that she would never marry again, focusing instead on finding a long-lasting partnership. And then came Tom Pelphrey, the man who would change everything. Their meeting at a horse show in 2021 marked a turning point. Kaylee posted Polaroids of their blossoming love on Instagram, revealing a side of her that fans hadn't seen before: vulnerable, joyful, and hopeful. The couple quickly became inseparable. By 2023, they welcomed their daughter, Matilda, and fans couldn't help but cheer for the couple as they navigated this new chapter in their lives. Kaylee's personal life has come full circle, from heartbreaks to new beginnings. From humble beginnings to sitcom stardom, from a string of high-profile relationships to motherhood, Kaylee Cuoco's journey has been nothing short of extraordinary. But as the dust settles on the chaos of her personal life, the question on everyone's mind is, what's next? Kaylee has already proven that she can do it all, from starring in The Big Bang Theory to creating her own production company and headlining major projects like The Flight Attendant. And while she's built a name for herself outside the sitcom world, her past still looms large. In 2021, Kaylee mentioned in an interview that she would be open to a Big Bang Theory reunion, adding fuel to the growing speculation that the show could return for a 13th season. With the success of Friends, the reunion, and the ongoing thirst for nostalgic TV reboots, fans have been wondering if The Big Bang Theory might be next. While nothing is confirmed yet, Kaylee's openness to a return, along with the fondness fans still have for the quirky Penny, has left the door wide open for a possible revival. But whatever comes next for Kaylee, one thing is clear: her journey isn't over. As she continues to balance her work with her family life and explore new roles that challenge her creatively, the future looks bright for this multifaceted star. Whether it's in front of the camera or behind the scenes, Kaylee Cuoco will always be ready to surprise us, and fans will be there every step of the way. And as the world eagerly waits to see what she'll do next, one thing's for certain: this is just the beginning of her next chapter.